All right, hello everybody. Welcome to my car recording studio. um, this is just the quietest place for me to record. Took you to a nice little nature spot in the end of a cul-de-sac right by the lake. So, for those of you who haven't watched any of my other videos on other channels before, I'm Tiara, and I am a highly sensitive person and an empath. And I'm also a coach for highly sensitive people. And I have another channel with the co-founder of HiSensitives and Catherine, where we talk about all kinds of topics related to being a highly sensitive person. And I am the highly sensitive person spirit guide on Instagram. So if you've watched those videos, you might have seen a recent video I did with a card reading for our viewers. And it was really fun. I also did a reading before that video where I tried to record and it didn't work. And then I did that reading. And then I had a third reading recently that I posted on my Instagram account. And the most recent reading on that Instagram account really correlated with the one I recorded for the Highly Sensitive Friends Talking channel, and also the one that I had tried to record and didn't get to record. It just made me start feeling like they were connected somehow and they were kind of leading somewhere with some sort of a narrative, and it felt like it was resonating with me and it seemed to be resonating with other people from the comments I've been receiving. So I just decided to just start this channel for the specific purpose of doing these readings for the highly sensitive audience interested in self-improvement. So usually when I do video readings, or I guess since I started doing video readings, I like to show you me actually like pulling the cards live and talking about how I picked them and reading the, little booklets together and everything. But because these are all previous readings that I've done before, you're just going to see me holding the cards and explaining to you. But anyway, enough background, right? So this first video is going to be the first reading, and if you're interested, if this resonates with you, I would highly suggest continuing to watch the ones after this. So it'll be part 2 and part 3. So the very first reading was this group of cards. So they come from any of these decks. They're all Colette Baron Reid's decks. The first one is the Map, the second one is the Wisdom of Avalon, the third one is Wisdom of Hidden Realms. Okay, the first reading I pulled Details, Protecting Treasure, Coming Apart, the Dream Walker, and the Ice Queen. And basically, I'll go through and just let you know what each card means, and then I'll give you the summary of how they all go together. So the first card, this one, Details, in the text in the book, it says, what you need to know lies in the details. Beware that perfectionism will not necessarily lead you to what you desire. Nothing will be good enough when you obsess with being perfect. So I interpreted this card as looking at things, really the fine-tuned details, not necessarily like a big picture perspective, but actually zooming in and looking at the finer details. And that's where you'd find, the answer to your question, or to maybe something that's been bothering you. To me, this also meant like a schedule, or focusing on maybe one thing at a time, just picking 3 things maybe in your life right now to put energy towards each day, versus trying to do too much. Maybe you've taken too much on your plate. Maybe you're overwhelmed by everything that's going on, and having a routine might actually be really helpful for you. The second card, Coming Apart. So this card in the text, it says, a sign to put an end to what is no longer working for you. This is a perfect time to reassess your goals and values. Also said things like, did you take on too much? I mean, maybe a relationship or a business partnership isn't working out anymore, or your workplace in general just isn't not working out anymore. Is something not going the way that you planned? Obviously, this year is completely not the way anyone planned. And it is kind of like a detour to everyone. It's kind of bringing everyone back to themselves, helping them really evaluate what's actually important to them. And maybe a lot of people are freaking out that it's not quite going the way that they had thought that their year was going to go, but I encourage you to be open to this detour being actually towards a better destination than what you had originally planned for the year. The other card that came out in this deck was Protecting Treasure. So it says in the book, nurture that which you hold dear. So I feel like a lot of people right now are worrying about protecting their family, protecting their finances, protecting their health and their well-being. It's also a time to reevaluate, like I said earlier, what's important to you and reprioritize. A good time to strengthen bonds and focus on relationships. So I think this speaks to people really wanting to make sure that all of their foundations are secure and really protecting and maybe even hoarding resources, or just feeling very protective of what's theirs, coming from a survival place for sure. Okay, and the last 2 cards from this reading came from a different deck, which was this one, the Wisdom of Avalon. The first one was Dreamwalker. Dreams, collective good, illusions. Dreams really do come true. The most beautiful vision for your life serves the highest good for others too, and navigating through illusions. So this is also kind of speaking towards reevaluating things that might be not what they seem in terms of the illusion piece. It could also be, you know, maybe this is a detour to get you to think more about what your purpose is in terms of like serving others and your dreams in general. So this detour might be towards a dream you've been wanting to put your effort towards for a long time, and now you finally have the time and space to kind of make room for that. And the last card is the Ice Queen, which is ideas preserved, non-action, entitlement. Let your ideas be preserved until later. Perhaps you're trying to do too many things at once. Ask your higher self for clarity. So this is a lot of like, you know, ponder some ideas maybe for the future, but don't necessarily take action yet. Maybe this is a time for you to sort of go over all of the dreams that you might have, think about, you know, what you might want to use this time for, and kind of let those things like marinate for a little bit. If you have that time that you're kind of sitting at home or working from home, or you feel like nothing's really changing yet and you're just kind of stuck, maybe use this time to really just get clarity on what it is, you know, go within, do some meditation, journal, figure out what it is that's really important to you. And so how I would interpret all these cards together is just pick maybe 3 things that you want to protect right now. You know, if that's family, wealth, and health, let's say, then come up with like a routine or a schedule and put those things, like an action item towards those things in your schedule, in your routine each day, and not try to stress about everything else. You know, just focus on those 3 little things. And let go of perfectionism, right? Like, no one is doing things perfectly right now. I mean, not that you can ever expect yourself to do everything perfect anyway, regardless of what's going on in the world. But everyone's kind of feeling uneasy and just doing the best they can, and that has to be okay. That has to be enough for you to not beat yourself up. And be okay with things maybe that aren't working, just dissolving. And that doesn't necessarily mean like leave a relationship or leave your job or whatever it is, but trust your gut here. If you feel like maybe, you know, you were wanting to work from home for a long time because you've got kids at home and your workplace didn't let you, but now suddenly they made it so easy to be able to transition to working from home for everybody, then you might question like, that's not really cool that I wanted this for so long, and now that everyone has to do it and it's mandatory, you're actually allowing me to do it. Like, there are things that you might start to think, well, that's interesting. I'm not sure that's really serving me anymore. And then maybe, you know, like think about those for a little while and ask yourself some really honest questions, and then see maybe where you want to take action in the future towards, you know, a bigger dream or bigger goal, even maybe for the collective good, highest good of everybody. So that is reading 1. If that resonated with you, awesome. Give me a like. Let me know in the comments, and definitely watch the next video because I do feel like these are all connected.